Migration.
The new
Our
migration strategy.
migration program.
Migration visas.
Australia Migration Talks.
Hello everyone, I'm Alex. Today we're talking about a question that many graduates are concerned about. After a 485 visa refusal, what is the real problem? When people hear about a 485 refusal, their first reaction is usually, did they miss a document? Was something expired? Was there a timing issue? But today we are not focusing on those details. Because for many people, after a 485 visa refusal, the real problem is not simply that this one visa was not granted. The real problem is that you thought you still had time to plan slowly, but suddenly the road ahead becomes much narrower. Today we have Jasmine with us again. Jasmine is a highly experienced migration agent. She has nearly 20 years of experience in the migration industry and specializes in complex visa matters, refusals, cancellations, appeals, character-related cases, health-related cases, and other difficult migration matters. Jasmine, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you, Alex.
Many people think that the 485 visa is a natural step after graduation. You finish your studies, apply for a 485, stay in Australia to work for a while, and then slowly consider employer sponsorship, state nomination, or other visa options. But if the 485 is refused, is the problem really just that this one visa was not granted?
No. After a 485 refusal, the most difficult part is often not the refusal itself. It is that the refusal disrupts the applicant's original timeline. Many graduates treat the 485 as a transition period. They may plan to get the 485 first, then find a job, gain local experience, improve the English, see whether there may be state nomination or a 189 opportunity, or later explore whether an employer may be able to sponsor them. But if the 485 is refused, that transition period suddenly disappears. You originally thought you had 2 years to plan slowly, but now you may immediately have to deal with your visa status, time limits, work, and future visa options.
So the 485 is more like a buffer period. Once that buffer period disappears, many options become compressed.
Yes, exactly. The 485 is not just a visa. For many graduates, it represents a period of time to plan their future. With that time, you can look for relevant work, observe migration policy changes, prepare your English, build a relationship with an employer, and slowly work out which pathway may suit you. But if the 485 is refused, these things are no longer something you can take your time with. They become urgent.
In actual cases, what is the most common reaction you see from applicants?
Many people panic first. They ask, can I apply for another visa now? Can I continue staying in Australia? Can I still work? Do I have to leave immediately? Do I still have appeal rights? These are all very real questions. But I usually remind them not to focus only on, can I lodge another application immediately? The real questions are, what visa status are you currently holding? How much time do you have? Will the previous refusal affect future applications? And what pathway is actually available to you?
So after a 485 refusal, it is not enough to simply lodge an ART appeal and then just wait.
Correct. At this stage, one of the worst things is not understanding the situation clearly, and then rushing into another application. On the surface, it may look like you are trying to fix the problem, but if the direction is wrong, it may make the road ahead even harder. We have seen situations that were honestly very unreasonable. An applicant's 485 visa was refused, but at that time, their student visa was actually still valid. But to save money, really just to save money, the applicants searched online, found a school by themselves, and lodged another student visa application. Then, that student visa was refused as well. By the time we became involved in the matter, the applicant had already lost the opportunity to lodge another 485 visa application. And the 485 refusal appeal actually had a very strong chance of success.
That is really a case where one wrong step makes every step after that harder.
Yes. For many graduates, the 485 is a key point. It is not just an optional visa that does not matter. It often connects to future career planning and migration planning. For example, when the Labour government wanted to reform skilled migration and student visas, one of the first things they did was not to directly change skilled migration or student visas. Instead, they introduced an age limit for the 485 visa.
Can you give us a common scenario? After a 485 refusal, what kind of practical issues might an applicant face?
Let's use a common example: engineering, such as civil engineering. Under a normal pathway, after graduation, the applicant may apply for an Engineers Australia Skills Assessment, sit the English test, gain work experience, and then apply for a 189, 190, or 491 visa. That is a normal pathway. But if the 485 is refused after graduation, and at that time the student visa has already expired, and the bridging visa A has already been activated, the applicant may choose to appeal to the ART. Now, if during the appeal waiting period, the applicant can obtain enough English points and work experience points, then because of the Section 48 bar, they may lose the 189 option, but they may still be able to lodge a 190 or 491 application. That is the ideal situation. But if the ART waiting time for the 485 refusal is very short, and now some cases may be listed within 4 to 6 months, and if there is no strong argument to recover the 485 at appeal, then the situation may become much more difficult.
So what is really affected is the applicant's future planning.
Yes, for many people, what they regret most is not the moment the visa was refused. It is that they underestimated the 485 from the beginning. They thought this visa should be simple and should not go wrong, so they did not prepare a backup plan. By the time the refusal happened, they realized they had no backup plan.
If a 485 has already been refused, what should the applicant do first?
The first step is to understand the situation clearly. You need to check when the refusal decision was made. What is your current visa status? How much time is left to appeal? If you do not appeal, are there any other visa options? If you are considering a new application, does that new application genuinely fit your circumstances? These things must be assessed first. And if you choose to appeal, you also need to consider what visa options may be available during the waiting period. It is not only the 190 or 491 pathway I mentioned earlier. Depending on the situation, you may also need to consider whether an offshore 482 application is necessary, or even whether a partner visa pathway may be relevant.
So after a 485 refusal, timing is extremely important.
Very important. Some options have strict time limits. If you miss the deadline, you may lose the option entirely. And every person's situation is different. Some people may still have a strong appeal pathway. Some people may be better suited to another visa option. Some people may need to deal with their visa status first. Some people may need to consider leaving Australia and planning again from offshore. So you cannot simply copy what someone else did. A pathway that works for someone else may not work for you.
That is very important, because many people read other people's experiences online and think they can just follow the same steps.
Yes, the most dangerous thing about visa matters is that two cases may look similar on the surface, but the actual circumstances can be completely different. The same 485 refusal may be fixable for one person. For another person, the remaining options may already be very limited. Some people may consider an appeal. For others, an appeal may not be the best option. So you cannot just look at a title, and you cannot just look at someone else's result. You need to look at your own full circumstances.
What is the one thing you most want to remind graduates in this episode?
Do not treat the 485 as a simple transition visa. For many people, the 485 is the starting point of their future migration plan. If this starting point goes wrong, many later arrangements may be affected. So, before lodging, take it seriously. And after a refusal, analyze the situation calmly. Do not take the next step just because you are panicking.
So let's summarize today's episode. After a 485 visa refusal, the real problem is not the refusal itself. The real problem is that the applicant may lose a period of time that could have been used to find work, gain experience, prepare English, explore employer sponsorship, or plan a skilled migration pathway.
Yes, after a 485 refusal, the most important thing is to understand where you are. What visa status do you currently have? How much time do you have left? Do you have appeal rights? What pathway is actually available next? These questions are more important than immediately lodging another application.
So if you are preparing a 485 application, or if you have already faced a 485 refusal, please remember this. The 485 is not just a simple graduate visa. It may represent a very important period of time in your future career and migration planning.
Yes, do not wait until something goes wrong to realize that you do not have a next step.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you, Alex.
And thank you everyone for listening. I'm Alex. See you next time.